Well, hello everyone. It's like you're here to talk to you about the Built College graduate. And talk about the coloring activity right here. As you see right here is I went ahead and drew pretty little, and I'll go ahead and see what I can do about drawing more. But right here is the college building, and most of us, if we take school online, it is the way I drew this part right here. Is it talking about is like here it's like a desk right here. It's like normally what you would maybe see. It's like inside the classroom. It is right here. Is you got the backrest part here. The part of the chair it is, and then right here is they say is a place where you can work with your books and your pencils and stuff like that. But then of course they talk about with the future technology right here is talking about is like maybe I would probably say pick a year in advance. It's like maybe by the year 2030. Maybe sooner than that. Who knows? It's like like me. It's like I can't really say about when they're going to start using it, but I would assume by the year 2030 it is that they're going to have it to where that have a writing desk, kind of like this right here, and then of course use like say the gold crayon right here, but then of course have it to where that it would say that there would be like what you call it's like a holograph, like talking about it's like a little digital writing desk right here to where it would come out, kind of like what you call is that you can maybe look at it. It's like what you call it. It's like the the expiration. It's like super computer say pencil. It is. It's like a type of microscopic type of digital pen. It is, and let's just say that knowing about that any type of a writing desk it is that it would have it to where that it would have like a little touch pad, and then of course it would show have like little say how to describe it. I can maybe say describe it and say in my mind about more like what it looks like, but no one about pick a particular name. But anyway, that but you would have like what you call a desk that would show different say parts of work assignments if you would be working on it, any type of assignment it is, and just knowing about it would project about what you would be working like a writing pad it is, a writing in like big electronic e-reader that will be built into one of those desks it is, and in a lot of ways that we could probably thinking about that they have it in like which in quite a few libraries, and knowing about I guess they're going to have new stuff about every year, and knowing about the types of designs that they give for the desk it is, but on the other hand too, that knowing about any type of design for any desk, and a lot of people probably think about it goes from wood to plastic, and then of course it could go by Talesic glass, or any Talesic glass, a type of glass that's not going to break so easily, whatever it is, digital glass, and of course you got right here is like maybe it's like type of like Google Glass or anything like that, any type of anything that you can wear on your glasses to where you can actually see stuff on there, and that knowing about that get online and get on Wi-Fi it is. But talking about is like for the Built College graduate it is that with most of us if we're familiar with like what you call is like a school, to where a lot of times is like they may talk about the basketball or the football games it is. A lot of times if you say draw a stadium at about right here, and a lot of times it's the football games, and of course the basketball games, and I could probably think about that a lot of times it's like in the schools it is that's really that what they concentrate about is knowing about that you got the football games, but mainly it's like during weekdays and the weekends, whenever they play, it's like if it's the Aspiros or anything like that, that they would play against some football team, and then of course is that really that you can more likely get a football game, have access to a football game, and say on the internet it is, but anyway, is talking about is like for the future, is like for college it is knowing about this, like the type of education that I was thinking about is like knowing about is having it to where that you would be able to have a student would be able to have their own working area, maybe like taking classes online. But then on the other hand too, knowing about if you were to go to college, then there would be like we have it to where you walk in to say a building like this right here, have it you got this big window right here, and of course a few windows, and but you have it to where you walk into the building, and then there will be what you call a hallway to where there will be a place where you can get some meal, or if there will be like what you call a rest area to where that you can have study at. And I know the colleges here that they have something kind of like that also, maybe at the library, to where they have separate rooms to where have it to where that they have separate rooms to where a college student would be able to work on their stuff. And on the other hand too, that knowing about is like a few of them that would probably like to spend time, of course, at home working on their college studies. It is in a lot of ways. It's like knowing about, some people probably think about this money just not there, but on the other hand too, that knowing about is like maybe ideas. It's like knowing about the ideas and planning and working out to say that the budget, of course, if that's always going to be there, but on the other hand too, that knowing about is like with building your college, building your ideas and knowing about what the plans are, maybe for the next 10 years from now, more likely is going to be, say, is the question is knowing about, right here is like kind of like a mascot right here. But anyway, that of course I can add a lot more detail also, but using the blue right here, but I have it right here to where that this will be like a part where you can walk around, say walk around the college. It isn't knowing about, it's like the type of museums that you think that you would maybe like to see, coming up on, it's like near the college campuses. If it's the Ashkenazi, Egyptian museum, and I don't know, there's a lot of colleges that probably say about knowing about the Egyptians, and then of course other studies, American history, that more likely that they may want to build a museum one of these days out there, or have one available online. It is, but to talk about with museums and different things that you can learn. And then of course that we could probably think about between pass and fail. It is just knowing about that with for a good job, if it's for a good job, and knowing about that hey, that I think you did a good job, congrats. Some people probably say congrats if you passed the test. It is. But then, of course, if you fail it, then more likely that they maybe say something like, well, you suck. But on the other hand, too, that knowing about that with some, it's like knowing about, it's like they probably say, better luck next time. Better luck next time. Or more likely, they probably say, well, the semester's about almost over with, so you're afraid you can't take the test. Well, you're going to have to wait until the next year, whatever it is. Better luck next year. But other than that, is talking about is like between if you pass or and fail. But on the other hand, too, that knowing about that people probably think about, it's like really, if you fail, you feel like you maybe lost something. You lost something. But on the other hand, too, that knowing about if you could have maybe tried harder, or maybe studied harder, whatever it is, but just knowing about the fact about at least you tried. But on the other hand too, the way I think about it is like that, even if by the time whenever you do fail, and just knowing about that if you want to give it another try, or if you don't want to give it another try, some people probably say that maybe you're just not skilled enough or whatever. But the way I think about it for Bill College graduated is talking about the things that more likely that you would like to try harder at. And I knowing about with most students, it is, if it's business workers, whatever it is, they could probably think about that they tried enough many a times to where that they're not even going to try again. It's like, yep, go ahead and run my own business or whatever. But on the other hand too, that knowing about, it's like talking about is like that if you were to talk about say building a college, but anyway that with most students, it's like knowing about whenever you failed, and a lot of times they probably think about that may cost you more money. It's like I'm not even a college student yet, but I'm on the other hand too, that knowing about with people think about between whenever you hear that you failed or hear that you pass, almost like that, oh no, I'm back to the old school again, or oh well, I guess I'll just have to study harder too. Like, well, you're grounded, man. You're grounded because you failed the test. But on the other hand too, that people probably think about, is there any better place I could be other than what you call like maybe the Science of Architecture Museum, or that the St. Pagliaccio, the St. Pagliaccio Art Museum, or whatever. Any better place other than the museum that I should be at? Because on the other hand too, that I failed the test, and I failed once, I failed the second time, I failed the third time, so more likely that I'm going to go ahead and fail the fourth time, and I'll just say that I am not this type of a genius person that you're looking for. Or it's like, but knowing about this, like the way I think about it, is that knowing about is that really, is a smiley face always going to be there? Knowing about it's like for what goes on your grade report. It's like knowing about it's like this is what you work hard for. And on the other hand too, that knowing about that with most students it is, and just thinking about that with whatever work that you do, that to know about that yeah, it's like with the mascot right here is to think about, it's like with the between the college and of course it's like you probably think about, some people probably write on here is fail, F, but then of course F plus and F minus. What does that mean? Well, excellent question. More likely it could mean, the fuel up your education. Or some people may say that, it's like it means fail. But according to some people it means that it's like, according to some people it may mean something worse, but on the other hand too, that way I think about it is like either it means keep trying, or does it mean that it's like put that not forward, but forego reverse. Forego reverse, which means that I'm like, yep, I give up, I'm not trying it again. But on the other hand too, that knowing about it, it's like that people probably thinking about that, hey, that you didn't save up your money, you didn't build up your education for nothing. Is to know that we're all going to fail, is to say at some point. But on the other hand too, that knowing about is like you have it to where the sun will rise, is to know it's like to give it another try. We all pretty much know that even whenever we do fail, that don't mean that we can't try again and then try again and then try again. And a lot of people probably say, but I don't want to fail again and again and again. But on the other hand too, that people probably think about that, how are you really going to build anything if you don't keep trying? But on the other hand too, that knowing about it's like between the football stadium and knowing about between pass and fail. But on the other hand too, between the A, score of A, and then of course with if there's a score, by name say of O or an M, it's like to put it all together. It's like awesome. But other than that, it's like go ahead and add an S in there. It's like for all awesome. But other than that, it's like talking about, it's like with the college and talking about, like this is about me. It's like talking about the graduate and talking about this. Like for me, like an I say Matt, talk about it's like so far as like for the build, college graduate, activity color.